We got 2 guys out for the game. Alvin will be out with the knee ankle, and Austin Richards will be out with the ankle. Justin Reed will be questionable with the knee, and then everyone else is good to go. So that's the medical side of this thing. And then the other day, just wanted to acknowledge Art Rooney Sportsman Award finalist DeMario. Awesome award for him to be a part of that finalist group. The way he leads, the teammate he is, the community guy he is. I think it's just a really cool honor, and obviously he's one of the best in the business to do it. So fired up for him.
Was Justin Reed limited today still?
Yes, he was still limited.
How did he just look in terms of?
Yeah. I mean, he was limited the last 2 days, and so he's been able to get some work in there, and we'll see how the rest of the week progresses.
How'd you feel, it went last week without him and some of the other guys in the room stepping up?
Yeah, obviously guys had opportunities to step up. I thought there's winning performances on the back end there. Jordan and Terrell, I thought, went in there and contributed in a really positive way. And so we're fortunate to have those guys. And so if they're called upon, and they'll be ready to go, and Jay Reed will do everything he can to see when he's available.
We talked the other day about creating habits. What do you look for this time of year to hope it can translate to next year? What are some things you look for?
Yeah, just growth. These are all growth opportunities. These are all big-time games, big-time opportunities for everyone involved in these things. And so you're trying to create habits each and every opportunity. Again, that's what it is. I think a lot of it's coming down to, the focus of what everyone has each and every week. The focus is important, the efforts, the finish, being assignment sound. And so, obviously we want to take the next step this week as well.
I know that you obviously want to win every game, but you hear this thing we talk about in the media a lot of draft position versus wins. Are the habits that you guys create more valuable than the way that end up draft position?
100%. We got a lot of young guys that are playing and contributing, and we love where they're developing. And so the drafts, that's next year. All we're worried about is this year, doing everything we can to be as successful as we can collectively as a group and individually. And we want to see the growth each and every week.
Well, just kind of the way people are now with attention spans and focus and all that. Are there things that you do just to check in to make sure that you're delivering the information in a way that people can pay attention to? Have you had to change your approach as people have changed and you can't look at anything for too long?
I think team meetings, you always try and keep them as tight as you can, really trying to have clear objectives and just try and reinforce them in a lot of different ways, whether it's reinforcing what we've done in previous games, reinforce what's going on around the league, we use college clips, high school clips, everything you could possibly imagine, because a lot of times you're really talking about the same things. You're talking about the fundamentals, you're talking about the focus, the effort, the finish, all those little things. You're just trying to find different examples and different resources to continue to share that message.
Are you trying to share those things with players even when they're away from the facility as well? Sending things?
Not usually, but obviously on occasion you will. And so our guys obviously have the iPads, and so they can really be watching film at any point. And I think that's a great advantage for guys in this generation that, you're always available. You're always able to continue to study even when you're home. And so I think a lot of our guys are able to take advantage of that in a positive way.
When you were a player, were there certain messages that resonated better than others? Just receiving that same message over.
Yeah, potentially. I think that's what every coach has to do. Is this game's a really simple game. It's really hard to execute, and it's really challenging to do it week in and week out, play after play. Our goal is to provide them as many resources as they can to be successful. And from a messaging standpoint, a focus standpoint, I think the word focus is always really, really important, because there's a lot of things that can distract us on a personal level, on a professional level. You just got to keep your focus where it really needs to be. Again, not looking too far in the past, not looking too far in the forward, really focusing on the present, and that's the opportunity we have.
Are you really still finding
pros?
Yeah, we had a couple high school clips today, and around the football world. We had a big time Michigan guy had a big open catch out in the middle of space, and someone kind of came from behind and stripped it. And then Texas had a good little push the pile touchdown. QB ran the football, and so we're pulling it from everywhere. Tulane had a bunch of highlights today on there, obviously with all the turnovers they did. Boise made a little quick appearance on a turnover. I always try and sneak them in there. I know the guys hate it, but they're always going to be on there any chance I get. So that's just how I roll.
You ever
So you're finding that stuff, like you're finding that.
Our staff does an awesome job. I think it's collective. Scouts, coaches, Mike Martinez does so much towards that. And so we kind of collect all these pieces every single week. And then on Fridays, it's really a trip around football. And so, the Yale Bulldogs we've been able to highlight the last few weeks because they made a fun run. Big upset against Youngstown the week before. And then they were right in it with Montana State this past Saturday. And so it's always fun, I think, for our guys to see all these different examples. And the fun part is at the end of the day, it really comes back to all the basic stuff that we're talking about, the fundamentals we're talking about. It's just seen in a different way. And so I've enjoyed it.
Any Idaho Vandal clips ever making it?
Every once in a while, there's not many. I usually try and avoid those ones.
Is Tyler's size, like, I think 7 of his rushes have gone for first downs. Does it allow you to kind of change what you do with, like, I don't know, some of the tasting stuff, or like, is he kind of a factor in those short yardage situations?
Well, I think Tyler does a really good job with it. Yeah, obviously he can run the football. He can run the football really well, and so certainly we have 2 opportunities to play with the QB run game, whether it's Tyler or Taysom, and so there's a lot of versatility within being able to utilize both those guys.
I'm trying to jinx you or anything here. Do you feel like you guys have done a good job with the just injury prevention side of things this year? I mean, we're
Yeah, this stuff we don't talk about. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Changing that, and it seems like it's paid out.
Yeah, I think our guys have done a really good job, and it takes everyone, having a very distinct plan and approach. I think the training staff here is awesome. They're special between Ben, Sean, and all those guys down there. For Ted and his crew, I think just the alignment of everyone a part of this has been really good. And so it's allowed our players, hey, the biggest thing is just trust the operation, trust the workloads. When we go, we got to go. And when we pull back, trust us, we'll pull back. And so we've been able to do that throughout the year at various times when we need to, both collectively as a team, individually. I think the more our guys have gotten used to that, I think the better they've been able to train and maximize as much as they can during the week to be ready to go on Sunday.
This is all the science-based, whether you're doing red light, green light days.
Yeah, I think it's important. And, for me, as much as, trust me, I want to run a million plays every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to do every single possible look and get that. But you got to trust the science part of this. What Ted, Sean, Ben, all these guys have their expertise. You got to trust that process with those guys and communicate when we need to push and make sure we're all on the same page. And so I feel like we've been able to do that collectively.
Have practices gotten shorter this time of year to kind of ease?
Naturally, I think in most NFL, there's rules related to it as well from a pads component. But, obviously as the season goes, you're going to reduce it a little bit more. And, and then the priority now and the focus for our players in walkthroughs becomes such more premium because there's times where a look or a rep in walkthrough is ultimately going to have to count as, hey, we're ready to go to execute this particular play versus this look. And so, that's the back and forth that you have in an NFL season. These are obviously longer seasons, and so you got to do everything you can to be ready on Sundays.
Yesterday, Doug made sure to point out that he never lost a Boise game. He's at Idaho. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to remember that game.
Doug's aging himself. That's what that is. So not many people know that Idaho used to beat Boise a few times, and so that's an old wives' tale basically. And so most people this generation have never heard of an idea like that. So Boise's always beat them, and it's been a while since we played them again, and so.